What's up tout le monde et bienvenue sur le podcast aka No Cap.
What boy J7.
Votre boy le podcast.
Hey, vous savez déjà qu'est-ce qui se passe? You already know what we doing, man. Week in and week out sur 11 MTL, mon bro, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, cette semaine, des gros guests, man.
Always.
Deux vétérans du game.
Yes, sir.
Deux artistes qui put in work depuis des années et qui méritent encore plus de shine qu'ils l'ont.
Mm-hmm.
Puis, je parle pas juste pour la musique, mais je parle aussi pour leurs propos. You know what I'm saying? Ils viennent de drop un projet commun. Ça s'appelle No Smoking Allowed. Je parle du seul et unique Buddha Blaze et Narcy dans la maison. What up?
You should start letting guests do the intro of you guys. Welcome to the podcast with O's and J.
Thank you for having us.
But yo, it's a pleasure to have you guys, man. Bienvenue. I mean, shit. Like I said, man, you guys been putting in work for a long time. Narcy, we had you here a couple times and stuff.
Of course.
Buddha Blaze, you have a long history too in the game. So it's like, it's not only, like I said, for the music, but for what you guys actually say and push, you know, and especially in this last project, man. But before we start, how's summer 2025? How was summer for you guys? How's the year so far? The project just dropped. How you guys feeling?
It's been a great year, I think, you know.
With the radio voice. Right?
We've been,
It's been a great year.
it's been a great year. You see, we've done a lot of projects. No, we did a lot of good stuff this year, you know.
Yeah, man.
I was just thinking about, you know, all the different things that we got to. The record being one of the main ones, but also, you know, we had a great launch party.
Yeah.
That was a good thing. And just personally, me, I've been doing a lot of DJing around the city and for different people. So it's been a highlight of a year for sure. In the first year, I feel like a lot of people are getting into a full swing back into just
Life.
life and as well as just the Montreal scene kind of popping back up, you know, kind of a second dynasty.
What makes you feel that?
Just everybody I know who was really in the, you know, the pre Dutch era, you know, before he passed. All those people are like full strength back in the scene. And they're associated with a lot of people who are putting in work that are new, who are kind of making what I'm seeing as a new second run for Montreal in the independent music scene for the English.
No doubt.
And I could name a bunch of people, but you guys know who I
Yeah,
mean.
100%.
They've been here.
And it's dope because you know the game. You've been here for a long time, and we're gonna get into a little bit of the history. Narcy, how you feeling, man? How was the year so far, bro?
Alhamdulillah, bro. You know, with everything going on in the world, I just try to stay creative and positive and pray up and, you know, be around the kids and just live this summer in Montreal.
100%.
Like, we're not going to the States for a little bit. So I enjoyed staying here all summer. It was the first summer that I didn't leave for at all. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
I went to Toronto and back, but it felt like the same thing.
Okay, dope. And you guys been knowing each other for a long time, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Long time.
20 years at least.
Is this the first joint project you guys
It's
did?
the first joint
No.
interview we do with each other, no?
We've done a song. I think we've done a
No,
song.
but I'm talking
Buddha
album.
Buddha was always in the studio up until like World War III. Buddha was in the studio with me.
Yeah, I've always been a part in some ways, you know, getting producers to come through,
Yeah.
to run beats through for albums
Okay.
through the years, you know, whether that be, whatever. Not going to name off people, but yeah, just tons of stuff like that. Always being there. I always wanted to hear what's going on, whether it's in the mixing stage or the actual creation stage. Or,
Okay.
Played
Yeah,
bass on some shit.
Yeah, like,
DJ'd for me for a while.
yeah, you know.
Toured with Tribe Called Red, so we met on the road with them too. Like, so
a
it's
lot of
always
those
been,
deep,
you know, yeah.
And what makes you guys say, okay, let's do this joint project? Because I know you take your time, especially your last project.
Yeah.
I seen you say like you took a lot of
years.
time, 3 years
Yeah.
to put it together, which in today's era is
crazy.
a very long time.
Yeah.
I won't say crazy, but it's a very long time, right? It's unusual. So like doing this project, how was it? Was it like a quicker process? Is it we meet at the studio, we record on the spot, we write in advance?
Not
How does it
even.
go?
He would send me. I have shifts usually on Fridays in the summer at the bookshop.
Okay.
So he would send me beats on Thursdays and Fridays while I'm at the shift, and then when I finish, I close up the shop. I just set up the studio in there and I record. So I would knock the album out over the course of like 8 shifts at the shop. You know, like I did 2 months worth of
quick like that.
recording, and then we mixed for 2 months, and then or like a month, and then we send it to because we put it on vinyl first again. So it was like a 4-month process. This album, it was very different to all the other shit that you've heard me do.
I was basically sending, a half a dozen beats every few days. Like, I think, what did we say? Like over 100 beats he went through.
Production is dope on the project, bro.
Thank you.
Dope production, man.
Yeah, man.
So he went through like 100 beats plus, like sending him stuff, and then
crazy.
he'd go for a walk or do whatever, listen to what I sent him that week or that day.
I wouldn't go for a walk. I'd just I'd get right to it. I'd be waiting for it.
Was. A couple times he'd be
This
like,
reminds
"Yo,
me
I'm
of you guys
listening to
skit
this
on
stuff."
the video. It's like, it's the same thing.
But
It's
yeah,
real. That's real life. That's who we are. Though.
So yeah, he would go through what I had sent him and then just choose off of that and then record. A lot of this was me kind of reaffirming him that like the motto was, if it feels good, it is good.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
It's interesting because we had an artist last week that was talking to us about a project he dropped, and he was like, "Oh, it's a mixtape." And I'm like, "But it's like an album, right?" And he's like, "No, but like the way I did it was more like a mixtape, the process of it
I
or
know
whatever."
what that means. I don't know how to put it in words, but I know what that means.
And like for you, is this the way? Because like one project 3 years, this one 3-4 months.
Yeah,
like, do you see it that way?
No, I think for me, like the way I approached it as a writer was like urgency, like the present moment. Whereas with my other albums, it's like there's a narrative to it.
Yeah.
This has a narrative, but it's like a couple of weeks in a person's life. It's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
it's
get
where
it.
my feelings were at that moment. I was extremely upset at the world, feeling very energized and creative, and like just put all that energy into the album. I didn't overthink it, I would write and the concept would come. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're
I
saying.
let the story build itself, kind of. Yeah.
Who came up with the title?
I don't even remember how I was there a long time ago. I was gonna do an album with Omar Effendim, and it was gonna be called No Smoking in the Museum, because there's always a No Smoking in the Museum sign, and I always kept that in the back of my mind, like no smoking.
Okay.
Just conceptually, it's like holding back, but also there's no more space to set fire to anything. Everything's already on fire. No smoking allowed, So it just felt right. Buddha's a heavy smoker.
Initially, we were playing with concepts about, smoking, no smoking. Like maybe we could do half the album from a concept of like not smoking or trying to quit weed or having those demons of dealing with that. And then the other side being like, I'm a stoner, So we kind of lightly kept that concept. And then the album cover was kind of, conceptually part of that as far as the name. But we had the name, we had the cover first.
Cool cover.
Yeah,
Before the album
crazy
was really fully done.
representation.
Yeah, that's a political moment in history, like culturally, if you will.
Attends, the Biodome already set.
Yeah, that caught fire in '76.
Oh, je
It
savais
was
même pas.
they built it in '67. It was the American Pavilion during the World Expo in Montreal, and then in '76 there was the Olympics, right, or something was
Yeah.
in
It
the
was 2
city,
years before
76
that.
and
was the
and that
Olympics.
shit burnt down when they were doing construction on it. So the skeleton that's left over was all that was left. So le photo est différent du original photo qui était pris là. We kind of manipulated this one digitally to make it more dramatic and present.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, it's a concept, with everything going on in the world right now.
Crazy.
As opposed to making a stoner album that's like, I love weed. Weed is everything in my life. It's like, I hate this shit. And it's bringing up all this paranoid like vision of the world that I have,
Yeah.
right? So that
But,
was...
through the album, you had some skits of movies,
Yeah.
and I love one when you said somebody said, I choose the wrong week to stop smoking.
yeah, what was that from Airplane, right?
That's from Airplane. Yeah.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
Classic.
all those makes it more into the
Yeah, the concept.
concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the no smoking side,
Yeah.
right? The start of the no smoking side off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Very dope. Very dope, man. You guys dropped you dropped singles first. I don't know if you dropped a 2-piece at one point, and then a single brother, I think later on. But when you guys dropped the 2-piece, I think it's the No Smoking Allowed and It Takes a Village, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Very dope songs. It Takes a Village is like my joint, honestly, on the project. I really like that song.
There's always people try to benefit from some things or it's how we say it, cloud chasing, and everybody can have his view on this thing. But you I know you've been concerned about this, about what's happening in Gaza, about the genocide. It's not been the first time you've been vocal about this. You took risk, and in the present moment now as an artist, what does it represent for you? Is it a moment that you always knew was gonna come? Do you feel prepared for this? How do you feel as an artist through this? Because we see a lot of people trying to benefit from this, try to talk about it, but when it's about you, you're a teacher, you're somebody that knows about that. So how do you feel at this present moment?
I mean, for me, I think that I've always had a great responsibility in my work. I'm a political artist. I'm not a commercial artist, right? Even in my work at school, it's a political act for me to be in that building, in that room, teaching what I'm teaching. In a way, naturally, it shouldn't happen, but it happened by the grace of Allah and my work, right? So any space that I go into, I always put my responsibility first. Maybe it's a crutch. That's why on this record, sometimes I get loose and it's not in that space. It's kind of out of the pocket that people expect me to be in as an artist, but that's a part of me.
It's the MC. It's the MC in you, man.
So the one thing I always do is I try to keep it as honest as possible. There's nothing fictitious in the things that I say, and that's the way you hold yourself accountable. You know, I've turned down gigs, I've lost gigs, but that's the least of the losses with what we've witnessed. You know, les gens qui sont morts, Gaza is flattened, bro. They flattened Gaza like they said they would 2 years ago, right? The last time we met was maybe 2 years ago, right? It had just started, I think. And yeah, it's just what do you do? That's where I'm at right now. So I haven't given up because there is a sense of kinship that between humanity. Like there's still hope in humanity, but it's like, what do you do, bro?
But I feel after all this time, a lot of us are like, what can we do? You know what I mean? Because everybody seemed to have tried everything, and it's like after we see what we're seeing in front of us and nobody's stopping it, it's like, of course you ask yourself, what can we do? And sometimes you get discouraged, like you said, like it's tough, bro.
Yeah, I think.
And then you feel guilty because you're like, what am I dealing with here? Like, how can I feel bad when
I'm not doing shit?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, for me, what I think is very important is as a community, in real time, we self-correct and we are in a critical space amongst each other to make sure that we do the right thing when we look back at history. It's not just solidarity that you have to place at the forefront of your action. It's also the decision-making and who you align with during this time that's going to come back and bite us in the ass as a community. So we have to be where we take our money. We have to be how we treat each other behind the scenes and how we value each other. Because if we're going to build a value alignment in a system at a time where the whole system we can see all the fucking cracks in this shit, we have to do it from a base level between one and one, right? And our decisions have reverberations in the world, bro.
Yeah.
So,
but you, in moments like what's happening in the world, we see plenty people being vocal about it. You're a teacher. You're somebody that has a lot of knowledge. What does it represent when an artist sends an attack or let's say a jab musically? What
you mean what I did?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I did it out of a brotherly space. Like I know those people personally, so it's not. I don't care about all the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like cloud chase, what? What am I gonna get? Saraha. Like way less people listen to me than them. So at the end of the day, it's like a personal. It's so personal that I can't even share it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think like I used this record was an opportunity for me to be myself fully and let everybody know who I am. Like there's no character I'm playing, you know? And yeah, I mean, I don't think it was the most responsible thing to do, which is probably why I took the name out. But it's something that needed to be done and said.
Yeah, because you know that people are gonna react. A guy like J7, when he hears something like that.
As soon as I heard something was bleeped out, I'm like, huh? Hold on.
I bleeped out a couple of things on the album though. There's 2 or 3 bleeps.
I don't know. That
maybe
one
2.
stood out to me.
But that one is very obvious.
Saint Laurent. Huh? Hold on, man. I run it by. But yeah, you think? Yeah, okay, let's go. But yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. At the end of the day,
I think people can perceive it how they want to perceive it. I really don't care. For me, it's.
But it's interesting because you mentioned that it's like more personal. But when I heard it, it's like a musical. Like you're critiquing. You're basically dissing his music.
And it's that. I think generally where we're at as a people is we have to be careful of the master's tools. That's all I can really say about that. The presentation of our culture right now is more important than it was before Gaza, and it will be more important after Gaza. Like when there's finally peace. Like we're scrambling, bro. Everybody is making Palestine merch to raise money and putting Palestine on T-shirts. It's
Even the kefir.
The kefir is everywhere, which is beautiful. Like 20 years ago, I would have never believed we would be in this position as a community where the consciousness around Palestine is so beautiful, right? So us as a community have to be careful that in the long run, our plight and our eventual survival is not co-opted like they co-opted every other culture. Like even on Takes a Village, I say, and at the end, all they give you is a land acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Like we can't allow history to repeat itself over and over if we're all watching it at the same time on live stream, right?
Yeah.
It's different than any other time.
Exactly.
There's that extra layer of responsibility that we have. So if we're to create content that represents our people, we have to be very careful. And I feel, I can be critical. I can be critical and love something at the same time. I don't think we can ever get it right, really.
Is it hard to balance, because you are vocal about your opinions and everything? Is it hard to balance that with the day job, being a professor, being around students and stuff like that?
I don't really think about it because I'm me everywhere I go. Like you've seen me.
I love it.
I don't really change, and I don't code switch. Right?
But there's no pressure. Maybe I don't know how it works.
Of course,
like the
there's
dean,
pressure. Of course, there's pressure. Of course, yeah. I've gotten calls.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
But I know I didn't do anything, ever did anything, or said anything wrong. I'm very careful about how I present things, especially to 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. Right.
Absolutely.
Even if I share my perspective, I always say this is my perspective. But people will lie on me. It's happened.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's not about what you say. Sometimes you're going to always be, and I know you're a good representative for us. You know what I mean? In the sense of when it comes to talking about these things, I'm not really worried about, you're not going to slip up. You're going to be smart about how you approach it. But then there's people that don't agree with what you say. They're going to twist it. And, oh, no, he said this and he meant this. And in this era of like cancel culture and all this stuff, I don't know, like, does that even cross your mind?
I mean, think about it, bro. A lot of our brothers and sisters went on Piers Morgan when, like, in the beginning, they said what it was, what they were going to do. And everyone was like, can you believe they said that? And and everybody started going on these platforms that serve the system and the machine. If the whole machine is against us, why are we going into the machine trying to fucking rewire it's not going to work. So for me, I didn't take any press. I didn't, it wasn't like a moment for me to shine and be like a thinker in public. No, actually, I went within and like try to understand the spiritual war that we're in now, right?
Yeah.
So I have a critique of that too. It's like they can cancel me all they want. There's nothing to cancel me about.
It's tough, no. But even the Piers Morgan thing and stuff, it's like, that brings a lot of awareness too. Like, earlier when you said so many people are aware, it's like it became a topic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the medium is the message, bro. If you go into the systems of thinking that we are trying to change, you're not going to change them. You have to create new systems. Yeah. Is the only way. You keep tackling, you're wasting your energy trying to destroy Piers Morgan's machine. You got to go make your own machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's tough, man.
It's tough, bro. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, so Buddha, I mean, we're gonna go back and forth. Obviously
cancel culture's over.
We got Buddha blazing here, and
don't talk to Buddha. Gonna get me canceled before I get myself canceled.
By the way, I mentioned earlier the visuals. I love the visuals. I love the you guys sitting down. Like, it made me think you guys should do skits and like drop more of those kind of visuals where you guys are chilling together. And for the people who don't know, you know, because we got
Tell
people
'em,
here
Buddha.
that's been in don't know the history of the game like that. How long you been in the game?
If
How did you
allow me-
start?
If you allow me,
Wait, vas-y.
I want to go biography with you and everything, but I want to stay real quick on the subject
Okay.
and try to make us a quick segue.
Go ahead.
Because we were talking about Gaza and your Mohawk. You're born
Kanawake.
you're born in Kanawake, and there's a similitude in the fights that we can see in Palestine and the fights that's always been happening in the res here with the Mohawk and the colonialism. How do you feel seeing what's happening in Palestine? You have your friend that you know from 20 years now. How you see his fight, and do you talk about it now about the similitude, and what's the conversation
I don't
between?
think it even needs to be spoken between us. We
Listen,
know.
I've known this guy so long that like, and being
Sorry for my English.
No.
being Ganyagehaga, you know, being Mohawk, you're just born politicized, right? If you follow especially my community and then my nation, we have a huge sort of impact on what is modern democracy in North America, in the formation of America and Canada. A lot of things, a lot of our border rights in Canada for natives falls under like Iroquois things that happen with court cases. So it's like just being native, you're highly politicized. Everything around you is politicized, just your existence, right? So when you end up having a friend who's in a situation like he has, and he's as scholared and like traveled as he is, I hear everything. I'm in the know because when I speak to him, I you know what I mean? And then when I hear that point of view, when I go and I seek out information, I have that. So then I can see how things really are as opposed to what the propaganda narrative may be, depending on where we're at. You know, we're in such a phase now of, like you're saying, information wars, and now people are using, you know, like alternative ways other than. I don't want to get into a whole thing, but you know, the press, they're doing alternative ways through the internet with other platforms and other ways to get these messages across. So it's like, that's the real war right now. And it's like, so being able to see from his perspective, along with how I was already raised and what I've seen in my lifetime. No, man, I see what's up. Like, I don't want to get into it, but it's,
we're at war, bro.
it's
The whole world is at war.
They're
Like, we have to stand together. It's now or never. You know what I mean? So for sure, it's an unspoken, you know, it's like we don't even have to say it to know that we're on the same page of humanity, you know?
It was fresh to see the video of you both. It was no smoking allowed, and it takes a village. And to see it being done on the res in front of, is it your store?
it's a store on the res. Yeah.
It's a store in the res. So how the idea came of doing this?
I mean, you know, the album is very Montreal, right? It was recorded in the heart of old Montreal, like right where the indigenous and the French signed like the treaty of peace in the city, quote unquote. So for me, and there's a lot of mentions of Kanawake on the record, obviously, because I only go to Kanawake to see Buddha. Every time I go in there, it's like, I feel like I'm being followed. I'm like an outsider.
Being profiled.
I get profiled there. But, you know, I love going to Kanawake because it's like, it's the natural state of the land in a way, right? It's not in the big city. And I thought, like, if we do this record, it's very important for it to be on indigenous land, not on Canadian land, right? Or Canadian taken land. So, I mean, for me, it was a purposeful decision. For him, it's home.
Well, you know, also, you know, we have the sample at the beginning of the song, which is like a Sopranos thing. And so we started building on the concept of doing like a, you know,
Sopranos
Tony
inspired.
Soprano inspired sort of a thing where, like, you know, he's Tony and I'm a homie, or I'm like the dude with the long hair, whatever his name is, you know. And we're, instead of meeting outside of the delicatessen, we're meeting outside of the cigarette store.
Yeah.
You know, and like he's eating what is it?
I mean, like a bossa sandwich, right? Like
Bossa sandwich.
like Italian sub.
You know, and I'm there with all my jars of weed, so it's like it's all real.
It's like no frills too, right?
But it's a take on sort of a Sopranos You know, him driving
so
through at the
natural, yeah.
beginning,
The whole
driving
thing.
through the res, driving through the city, like the beginning of Sopranos, where he's driving through the tunnel into Jersey. It's kind of like the
Okay.
same. You look at it from there, it's kind of our take on that.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like it. And like I was saying, so like, because you know, when we were growing up, we would see like in the news. I'm speaking for myself, you know, as an outsider. I didn't know too much of what was going on. Then we saw there was the Oka crisis back in the days, and all that. Just growing up on the res and coming up, even connecting with hip hop and all that. How was it? Was it any different than it would have been for anybody in Montreal? How was it growing up out there? And
Oh, totally different. I mean, English only.
yeah,
English and Mohawk, if you could speak Mohawk, but English and Mohawk. Everybody's connected to the United States because, like, a large percentage, especially in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, people moved from Kanawake to New York or different spots to work, where they would work Monday to Friday in the United States and then drive 6 to 8 hours back on Friday night, spend a day and a half with their kids and family,
and go back.
go back for Sunday at like 3 p.m. to get back for like 10 to sleep, to go to work the next day for a week and do this, you know, to support
Crazy.
their families.
Okay, wow.
Like my dad worked for 25 years all over the States. He had a place in Queens for 20 plus years, like an apartment.
What?
Okay.
And he would go and all my brothers, I'm the only one in my family that never did high steel. I got into music, and all my other brothers are, you know, well, they did other things as well, but they all initially worked in New York.
Okay, so like going to the U.S. is something very
Normal.
okay.
Like if you like, so my dad finished Tower 1 of the Twin Towers and then built the whole second tower.
What?
Like he was on that job.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Your dad built the Twin Towers.
Yeah. He worked on every bridge around Manhattan. He worked, a bunch of
That's
people from town,
crazy, bro.
like from my town.
Really?
It's like, if you go back historically, the Quebec Bridge disaster, like a huge amount of those people in that were from my reserve. Like we have, like, you know, a history of working in high steel just because we needed the money, and like, you know, we would go and do it. Like, oh, people are like, oh, they're skywalkers and it's so spiritual, they can walk high and they're not scared of heights. No, bro, and you're getting paid like, you know,
We're just working, man.
$53 an hour American, and you live in Canada. Like if you can get that job, you have the opportunity. Someone's like, yo, we're gonna go work in New York. Like my cousin's got a job, let's go. Or what, I don't know what it was, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
crazy.
like
Grew up
all
kind of
my
around
friends,
that.
all people that I grew up with, a bunch of them, they all worked in New York. One of my good friends who became a Marine and went to, like, you know, the Middle East a couple times, 2 tours.
Okay.
He worked in New York too. Like 17, his dad's like, you're going with your cousin, and they got in the car and became a journeyman.
That's interesting.
You're on the job. Here, go as you work. Train
And
as
you said
work.
you were kind of the different one in the family where you stuck to music.
I got into
and
music,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
When I was like 11, I started playing music. Got into playing guitar, and then in a band. And then that same year, started radio at K103 in like 91.
91.
Yeah. So I was like an intern.
I was 9.
There was a guy on the res. I was 12, I guess. There was
Yeah.
a guy on the res or 13, who he had like the night show, and it was kind of like the urban show, but urban wasn't really urban yet. It was like, you know, they're playing like Technotronic and D-Light and Montel Jordan and just party music on the, you know, whatever it was, 6 till midnight, Monday to Thursday. And so I'd go there and hang out, and me and some of the guys that I was in a band with, we would go hang out and became interns. And then we like got the station to let us actually become interns. And then they gave us a show. And then I did like a rock, because it's heavy into metal and hardcore and hard music early on.
It's like Wayne's World.
And so yeah, I got a show. I did the weekend rock.
Okay.
Saturdays from noon till 6. I played rock music all day.
Crazy.
Just by myself at the station because it's closed in the weekend, and just like have the whole place to myself, all the music. And then as you're going there, there's all these different people who are like seasoned DJs, and they're like teaching you, this is new wave, this is the Beatles, this is 70s, this is 50s, this is what, you know what I mean? So then
Yeah.
I got like put on, and plus the station, it's in the era where you're getting more singles. Like you get these CDs with 20 songs, and it's every kind of genre from that record label, right?
Yeah.
And then I was doing interviews with, like, it's funny we're talking about this because he's going to bring me to Korn soon. And I was like, oh, I want to go interview this band Biohazard in like 94 at the old behind the Spectrum. I think it was a Spectrum. It might have been the Metropolis, which is Telus now.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But I'm in the bus, and the guy's like, "Yeah, man, I got my homeboys. I brought them on tour, their first tour ever." And I thought they were gonna be there that night. He's like, "They're called Korn, and they're the best." And blah blah blah. And then like the next day or two, I go to the station, and the album was in, and I'm like, "Yo, that was their first album, right?"
That's
so
crazy.
It's like,
and at what point? Okay,
shit like
so
that.
crazy history. And at what point does it switch to hip hop?
Hip-hop.
Because
I
I
mean,
know
I
Buddha
was-
Blaze as a hip hop DJ.
I mean, I was listening.
I met Buddha when he was like half rock, half.
Oh, for real? Okay, you
Like he was
caught-
both. He still is both, but like he was both. He was still playing in a band. I think when I met you, was that
Yeah, I
possible?
might have been. I mean, I was in
2001?
another band later on. I was in Shiver Down for like
Shiver
3
Down.
years.
That's the band.
No, that was like
Shiver
2004.
Yeah, bro. So 2001 was when we met at CKUT. I just found footage from that era on VHS. It's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
man.
So 91, I'm DJing at the radio. There isn't really hip hop per se. And then I did that till like, fuck, I don't even. Either way, I got more into like hip hop because there was always Beastie Boys, there was always Run DMC, there was always Easy. I remember my late brother, pulling up in his Nova and be like, "Yo, get in," and he played the Easy E
does
track
it?
where he does the bank robbery.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
that one?
Nobody move. Nobody
Yeah,
get hurt.
He's like, yo, and he's like
Classic.
blasting this, and we're like driving. What's that? 90 something
This
or
is a
80
sticker.
something?
like
Man
94.
with the Easy E voice.
No, earlier than that.
92. I mean, I
No,
would know. I
that was
heard
earlier.
NWA.
That was Easy Does It days, I think.
So it's like, all that stuff. That's
89
what
or
was
some
popping.
Crazy.
Wow.
So there wasn't really hip hop. And then let's say 98, 97, 98, I got heavy into like maybe even before. What year did the Cypress Hill Temple of Booms, whatever year that came out, that was like heavy, got into hip hop and started buying tapes. Still DJing and doing rock and like whatever. At that point, actually, I'm doing afternoon radio, 3 to 6 or whatever, coming home after school and going to radio or whatever at K103. And then I don't even remember when they gave me, it might have been years later, they gave me the Friday night hip hop show. But 99 is when I got the moniker. And then I joined FBI Jedis, which was the all-native hip-hop group from Kanawake
Yeah,
that I was
remember.
in.
I
With
remember.
Chief Rock and Kimosabi and Code Red and
Shit, Chief Rock. I haven't heard that name in
Grim,
so long,
who's
bro.
now Willie Skis. Johnny Jukes, who's, I don't know what he calls himself now, but he's still rapping, I believe. So that's like 99, because like my cousin JR, who became Juggernaut, and JJ, who's Johnny Jukes, I don't know what he called himself now. They were the first hip-hop guys in Kanawake. Like they were into hip-hop heavy all through the 90s. So like when I really got deep, it was, they were around, and then they hooked up with my boy Chief, who was from up north, but had family in like Cincinnati. So then we started a group, or he already had a group, we joined it, and then all became like this 8-person, almost Wu-Tang style group. 2001, we put out our first single. It was on the radio, Justice. That was rocking. Then we put out our first record, Prelude to Prophecy. And then we put out 3 or 4 or 5 mixtapes,
Okay.
actual CDs, the Audio Crack series. And then
Audio Crack, bro.
and then
This
we
shit-
put out the FBI album, Rock Out With Your Cock Out, which we sold independently. I was thinking
Pause.
about it today. We sold like,
Pause. Hey,
no,
yo.
bro, it's me. Fuck your pause. It's me on the cover dressed as Slash.
Double pause.
With a
Double pause.
14-inch hammer and 2 girls, like rock chicks on the side of me. Like some super misogynistic 80s shit.
But I remember, like,
And that we sold over 3,000 copies independently ourselves. CD.
dope. And I remember like Kanawake being like basically a home base for a lot of artists that would want to promote their music back in the days. Like, I always was like, okay, how come it's only there? Like, you know what I mean? Like at that point, there was
That
a
was
few
the radio
years,
station.
So
there was a few years where it was really happening there. You're dropping a single, whatever, you got to go there.
There was a
you know what I
guy,
mean?
E.O. Kirby, who still
Yes.
works at K103.
He's the first one I heard on
He's
that
the
station.
one who really realized hip hop was going to be successful, because I think he was a station manager at that point and a DJ. So he was like, "This is what we need to play. We're going to get ahead of the curve." This is because he also was a New York steel worker. So you got to remember. So if everybody's uncle, everybody's older brother, everybody's father's going to New York all week, and then they come back, all that culture comes back.
Of course.
People start going. They go for the weekend with their father. They go meet their auntie, whatever. Hang out. Go for the summer. You're getting tapes. You're getting like people used to come back with like the hats that had the metal cutouts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody had that here. Like the
I
New
might
York
bring
shit,
that
you
shit
know what I
back.
mean?
Don't make me bring that shit back.
All kind of stuff like that. You know, people wearing Carhartt, just whatever. Very hip hop, very New York. So that was already there. So he saw the future in that.
Heel
Kirby.
Big
And
shout
so
out to him.
He's
I
still
remember
there, yeah.
listening to him, man.
And then like he kind of really got it popping.
I think
And,
after him there was Big Duke.
yeah, Duke came in
Big
next.
shout out Duke Eatman.
And
Duke Eatman was that?
yeah, Duke
Yeah, of
Eatman was the
course.
station manager.
He was there when I went the
program
first
director.
times.
Crazy.
It was Duke, man.
He was actually, I would say, he Heo brought it up really high, and then Duke, I feel like, crystallized what it could be as far as like bringing on. That's when we started doing the countdown, the local countdown.
Yeah.
Real
Battle of the
City,
New Tracks,
Battle of the
all
New
those
Track.
things.
That's a Heo thing, but like.
Okay, so I was there with I was on that with Heel. Wow.
But you remember there was the synergy at one point with like Nick Fury doing his countdown thing with the website and the
Yep.
radio station.
Yep.
So we had our own like weekly.
There was
hip-hop
something. It was
countdown
brewing.
going, you know?
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I feel the English scene was at its. I won't say at its peak because, like you said, now there's like a revival going on. But at that point in those years, like the New Money years and all this stuff, it was bumping, man. It was
Definitely
impressive to see, man.
I think things were more regional back then too. Like
Yeah.
there was regional economy around music, right?
Well, yeah. I
100%.
mean, internet. I mean, there was MySpace. There wasn't. Everyone wasn't glued to their phones as much.
Yeah.
If they were checking social media, it was on their laptop at home or whatever.
Or you
know?
had to have music
It's
on a
not as-
device.
Not
Right?
as
It was-
immediate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
different.
like,
Everything is different.
Everything's
Everything's
different,
different.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Heo took over, and then when I started getting into heavy hip hop, and I like kind of went back to K103 to want to do a Friday night show. They had so much music, so much vinyl that was unopened, all these singles, all these 90s rap records. Like, I got so much music from them, and then making the relationships with the labels. Right, you had like Donald Robbins.
Big shout out my dog
You know,
Donald Robbins,
you had
man.
all- you
Triple
had
OG in the game.
So many people at Universal, I can't even remember everybody I dealt with. But yeah, Universal, Warner, EMI, like it was a whole different thing. So back then the hip hop started coming, and then it was kind of like full on, where we put out the song 2001, and then Chuck Barnett I think took over at that point, and then he was sort of doing what Heo had done before Duke Eatman, actually.
So
And yeah, it was just everything was going crazy at that point, man.
So seeing that you've seen pretty much every era when it comes to hip hop in the city today, like you dropping a project and knowing how music is consumed differently and stuff, how do you approach it? Do you have expectations for this album?
First, not putting anything on streaming because I'd rather, go back to physical. The reality is, physical is where it's at, okay? Like, if you want to have a real fan base, you want to create something, like people want to hold something in their hands and have it. And you know who your fans are because you sold it to them. Unless you're in a position where you have distribution, then that's a whole other echelon. Everyone strives to get to that, But like if you're an actual true independent artist, I feel like we're at the point now, where like Pro V set the bar, bro. He put out that record.
Yeah, great project.
7th Summit, and now you have to go. That's the standard for the guys who are putting it out themselves, who are selling it hand to hand, who are putting in the work, who are putting up the money to do it all.
Yeah.
Right. So he did it, and I was like, well, that's what I got to do. And then now I see like there's a bunch of other projects that have followed suit, and it's just so that's the standard now. That's why I'm seeing a resurgence, because in English, there's a real high caliber of MCs and that are putting out music and deciding to invest in themselves and go further than just putting it on streaming and making physical copies. Some people are still going full streaming and still having physical copies. But what I wanted to do, especially since, I've been in music, I've been making music for a long time. I've done projects, I've been a producer, I've done a lot of things, but most people don't know that. There's a 10-year gap where I was a tour manager, and all I did was travel around the world and fuck shit up and never did music, right? Was around amazing musicians and rappers and DJs and singers. And then COVID happened. And then fast forward to 2023, 2024, I'm like, I think I want to start making music again. Like, I want to do something. So, you know, went through those steps to start making music. Started posting things on social media. Narcy was like, yo, that's ill. We should do something. I'm like, okay, but we got to do a vinyl. That's all I said. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
I had just done the double album on vinyl to the shop.
Okay, yeah. So you're like,
So I had a model that was already working. Like I had reprinted 3 times.
I said, look, we're going to just take your universe and your whole, you know, machine, and we'll just push it through that machine, and it'll be so much easier. This is where the if it feels good, it is good came into play. Yeah. Like, we don't need to strive to do anything. We have everything we need between you and me. So let's just do it like this and go against the grain, because why not? And at the same time, as we were formulating this is when I started seeing 6'2", who was an incredible producer from out east, legendary guy, lived in Montreal for many years, now in Toronto, lived in Japan, whatever. He's putting out a record, nothing on streaming. Put out vinyls, put out cassettes, sold out. Sold out. Just announced it last week, sold out. Now about to go on tour. Going to be in Montreal soon. You know what I'm saying? Gonna play
that's
with
definitely
Lunas.
the way to go. But a lot of people are going to be, like you said, they're going to be tempted to just budget-wise, this-wise, just drop it on streaming or whatnot.
For sure, but
Yeah, but
if
you
you
know, that's
can
why
be
I
in the
trickle-
position to do it, then why not do it?
I trickled down the rollout for us for this to be vinyl first for a month, and then I put it up on Bandcamp and did that push, and then we started dropping singles on I call it social media, but on Spotify and shit like that. And just I don't even look at that. At this point, I used to look at that first and look at that as the metric
And only
for success, right?
Yeah.
So when I shifted to physical, and merch was always my go-to like item. I put my music in my merch. I always been doing that. So when I went to vinyl, and then it just shifted my perspective and my focus. And when you focus on something that's successful and moving, you could just grow it.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas with the internet, it's like so dictated by algorithmic and relationships that you have within those spaces. It's like, I'm not interested in the Jones.
exhausting,
And that's
bro,
just
at a
going to
certain
die
point,
anyway,
yeah.
eventually. Like, it doesn't last forever.
Facts.
Now look, the 8-10 years I was touring, I started with that group. We were selling 1 CD. Okay. When we did our last tour in Europe, I had multiple vinyls, I had CDs, I had hats, I had pins. I had like, I think 6 different, maybe 8 different t-shirt designs from 1 CD.
Crazy.
And
No,
that's
100%.
2012 to 2020 or
That's the formula. You just got to put in the work.
just,
at the
just,
end.
to, just to say it's never gone away. If anything, in that time it grew. So like when we went into this, it was like, no, I know we could sell records. There's no way we can't with his following, with my somewhat following, and just like the you know,
community that we have.
the community.
Yeah.
I know it'll support it because I know the project's good too. It's not like I'm putting shit out. It's like,
No, exactly. The
You know,
quality's
so-
there. The quality's there. Yo, Narcy, sometimes I feel like you're not mentioned enough in the top rappers in the city.
That's right.
I'm going to put it out there, man. Because
In
when I listen
Canada.
to this project, it's like, yes, there's the le propos, you know, like the message you're trying to push and stuff. And a lot of people will always associate you kind of like to like being an activist type rapper. But like, bro, you got some crazy schemes and bars and punchlines. Le pain, là, I mold the pain like a French
baker.
I mold the pain like a French baker. Come on, you always get me with those lines here and there, you know. And I hear them like, yo,
That's why
Narcy's
we need
always
the.
got
I need
those.
the lyrics, bro.
For this album?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics kind of crazy on this
Yeah, I
I
album.
mold the pain
Yeah,
like a
understand now.
French
It's
baker.
pain, le
bro.
pain,
Come
le
on,
pain.
dog.
C'est là que je
Let's go.
comprends.
Yeah,
Makes me
I
think
was
of
like
the
preparing
Sting
for the
song.
interview. I was like, yo,
King of Pain.
Make you think of Sting? Is that what you said?
King of Pain, that song. It's about him going by a bakery in Quebec.
No way.
Driving up to the Laurentians, and he saw like the King de Pain or whatever.
For real?
Yeah,
I mean, look, you know, I came up off bars, bro. That's how I started
But that's
with
it.
my
That's
chops.
That's why I want to mention it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because like when I listen to that, when I listen to, I think it's on the intro song, the Joe Rogan little scheme there at the end of the track. You know, like it's like you still like take your time to flex a little bit to display your skills. You know, to let it be known, and I love it. The MC side of me loves it.
Thank you, bro.
And
I don't
I'm
really
like,
know why
feel-
I guess it's because I've never been competitive. I'm not like the way I make art is not in a competitive space. I don't look at other MCs and I'm like, I'm better. I'm better. I can be better than that person. I just try to be the best version of myself as a lyricist. And I know, bro, I've done tracks with the best of them and I've hung with them. I've done tracks with Royce. I've done tracks with Talib. I've done tracks with Mos. I've done tracks, you know what I mean?
Let it
What did
be
Raekwon
known,
say?
So, like,
bro. Let it, pop your collar, bro.
and
What
I-
did Raekwon say to you?
Raekwon, I can't say it. But
Okay, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that,
it's
bro.
in my book, The Diatribes of a Dying Tribe. But he called me an
Goodbye.
Marketing
Afghani-Iraqi
genius, this
war
guy.
N-word. But so like, I just know, like that's the litmus test for me is what MCs have I recorded with or like have become friends with
Formed
that
with.
respect my pen and you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I know
100%.
like I know I can take any MC. But I don't need to say that. That's not why I make art, right? You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Come on,
no,
bro.
but that's why.
We open up for Run the Jewels a few years ago, and then like Mos Def just pops up and he's like, "Yeah, I want to come play with you guys," and then just performs with us.
That's crazy.
And then like knows LP, so like LP walks out like, "Dante, what are you doing here?" You know
no,
what I
but
mean?
that's crazy. But
Exactly,
you see, like,
that's what I'm saying.
But these
This
are
guy's-
stories that I know you're not the type that's
I
gonna
mean,
be
bro, I
bragging
did a
about it.
track with Yo-Yo Ma, bro. Like, I'm not your average MC. Like, people need to know. Like, I will rock the mic, I'll destroy a microphone, but also like I make music, you know.
Yeah.
So
With who you said?
with Yo-Yo Ma,
Who's Yo-Yo Ma?
yo,
exactly.
look up Yo-Yo
You
Ma,
know,
bro.
when you look at him, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit."
Yo-Yo Ma is one of the biggest like violinists in the world, bro. Like, so like I've had
Oh, Yo-Yo
opportunity.
Ma, okay, wait.
I've had you know, and then like Todd Rundgren, who's a huge psychedelic rock dude from the '70s, that's highly respected for his work. So like, I never looked at other MCs like, what's a MC, bro? I can destroy a track. You feel me?
That could be a good
No
title.
smoking allowed.
What's
You
a-
can't smoke around me, bro.
What's an MC?
Yeah, what's the MC, bro?
No,
Yeah,
but
but I
it's-
mean,
it's-
alhamdulillah, bro. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I can make this shit, and that my pen has gotten stronger, and it's only getting better. And
Obviously, with time, if you keep sharpening it, man. it's
I
crazy
really
to
like
see.
the track "You're the Greatest"
yeah, with Jimmy.
with Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah, the flow, the way you brought it. Yeah, one of the
Only 2 features, right, on the project.
yeah, just Jimmy
Yeah, I
and
said
Nico.
I only want Jimmy and Nico.
on Haram Bae.
That's it.
Yeah, Haram Bae. Yeah,
You like the cover, huh?
yeah. That's Haram Bae's mom, by the way. Like real Haram Bae. That's that's Haram Bae's mother in that photo with George Bush.
Crazy.
So that's and you know, this Haram Bae is about America. It's not really about weed. It's about who laced the weed for Jesus, blood, sacrifice your leaders. I'm writing a verse about America as though you walk in the room and America killed the spirit of everything in that room, right?
Yeah.
So Haram Bae is what America would call me. I'd be Haram Bae. If she fell in love with me, that's who I'd be.
No,
right?
that's crazy, bro. No, but there's so many little gems when you listen to the project. This is what I like about it. Even there's the song. It's like a Buddha.
Buddha
it
chopped the
samples-
Buddha like he chopped the Mingus.
The song that samples Bone.
Oh,
Brother.
brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
brother.
at that's brother.
Yeah, that's brother.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Buddha Lovers, I think, is the joint
Yeah,
that
of
samples.
course, bro.
Yeah, I was
Classic
not sure.
Bone
I-
Thugs.
I sent him that. I was like, yo, bro.
Yo,
like,
that's
I mean, it's
no
your
choice.
name, bro.
Yeah,
You
you
have
got
a
no
choice.
choice.
Yeah.
I'm a big Bone guy, so when I heard it, I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Classic. And even that song, like, so dope. It's like homage. I don't know how you would describe the song.
Tribute.
A tribute. Thank you for the correction. Dog. How would you what made you write that song? Because I think it came from a difficult situation. I don't know if you guys.
No, I don't know, man. I think like with brother, I was like, oh shit. I was listening to Bone that morning. I was getting ready for work, and I was like,
Hold on, man.
You listen to Bone in the morning.
Of course,
This
I
is
was
the
in a
Bone
Bone,
Thugs?
bro.
I wasn't
Yo,
expecting you to listen
come on,
to
bro.
Bone
Narcy
Thugs like
listens
that.
to like grimy hip hop. Come on, guys. Like this is a thing.
No, but Bone Thugs?
Yeah,
I
Bone,
would expect
bro.
you tell me, yeah,
Bro,
like a Most Def.
I
and
miss my
Talib
Uncle
and-
Charles, bro.
even.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so Bone is a big part of my childhood. Like, one of my best friends loved Bone Thugs and Harmony. So, like,
Wow.
we listen to Bone a lot, man.
Okay.
I used to get the cassettes of Music Plus, 6-hour cassettes sent to me when I was living in the Gulf by Nawara, my boy here. So it would be Rhapsody from Much Music, and then whatever the hip hop show was on Music Plus.
Yeah.
And it was like Crossroads was on that shit for like 8 times.
Yeah.
Right? Like I even listened to the Mo Thugs album. That's how deep I get into the.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Bone Thugs. I was listening to that morning. I heard that song. And I was like, holy shit, Buddha lovers, bro. Like, Buddha, you gotta sample this shit. I literally just like, you gotta sample this shit.
Yeah, there was a few instances where he would send me tracks like, yo, flip this. And like, I think there was two or three of them on
and
there.
I think I thought he was gonna flip it on some like slow, weeded out Buddha shit. And then he sent me that shit, and I was like, oh, there's 2 songs on the album that are like not boom bap joints. They're like they sound like commercial joints because they're commercial samples, right? And I was like, if I was to take this moment, how do I subvert this beat and like make it more personal? And my favorite songs are like, you know, X Factor, Lauryn Hill, like songs that are like commercial beats but so emotional, right?
Yeah.
And it made me think of hanging with that beat made me think of hanging with my boys when I was in my 20s and my teens, right? So I tapped into that energy, and it was like, you know, I've lost a brother, he's lost a brother.
And then, you know, we got the video where it's like at the album launch where we have a bunch of our, you know, close intimate circle
It's
there.
a cool, and it's
So it
like
kinda
no
works.
performance, really, right?
No,
Like,
No.
I was like, I don't want to be in videos anymore. That's really where I was at when we started working on, you know, with the To Be an Arab record. I wasn't in any videos because I was just like decentralized the artist. I don't want to be in the middle of everything anymore. And then like when we were approaching this record visually, it was like, how can we just be not like rapping into the camera like it's a music video? I'm just talking to the camera like it's me.
Yo,
right?
we need more of that.
Yeah.
Just
less
artistic
posing, bro.
Yeah.
approaching it from an artistic
My favorite
perspective.
music video of all time is Petit Frère of
I
Ayam.
love that song, bro.
And,
I grew up listening to I Am too, by the way.
Yeah.
I Am and Freeman and shit.
And
Okay.
we don't see them in the video. It's just,
It's just
it's a
it's like the
narrative.
story.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, short films, you know, that's the goal eventually. But with Buddha, it was like, it's so personal. Everything is so personal. The way we make music, the friendship that we have, the personal journey that we've had together as friends. Like, it's just, we can't fake it. I don't want to shoot a music video where we're just like, yeah, I'm in a music video. I can't do it anymore.
If you catch your boy 7, I mean,
Yeah.
I might be
I'm
having a
not
good
judging.
time.
I'm not judging.
No, but I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
If I was to ask each of you, which one's your favorite joint on the project right now, today?
I haven't listened to it. I honestly haven't listened to the album in a very long time. Like since we started selling it.
I listen to it every day. Got to get those streaming numbers up. What the fuck?
So that's where they're
How the
coming
fuck else
from.
are they going to get up there? Good question. Good
I really
question.
love Love Bombing on the joint. Just
Love
because
Bombing'.
I don't I do one of those on every album, but like
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but
Go
it
ahead.
was like it reminds me of like Tokyo in 2003, going to Tokyo at night. I don't know why it reminds me of that era of my not Tokyo the city, but Tokyo the club on Saint Laurent. You know what I'm saying? I used to go with Yush and all of
I
them.
used to have a night there
Yeah. Oh, you used to have a night at
on
Tokyo?
Friday nights.
So there you go.
Oh,
That's
for
why I used
real?
to go to Tokyo.
Okay.
We kid DJ Kid.
But also the closing joint on the album is probably my favorite
yeah,
one.
Apocalypse Now. I was
The
gonna say.
non-rapping one, the like weird. like,
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely want to
yeah,
shoot a
yeah,
vote
yeah,
video
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah. Musically, that one was just a cool one that happened, and then he was like, "Oh, yo, this is so sick. I'm gonna write something to this."
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way it's so slow, and that still he's able to ride the beat, you know, syncopate with the beat.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites for sure. But I
Okay.
mean, there's some great tracks on there, but that one just so it's on vinyl. You can like
Drop
it's
it.
real.
It's funny, we were DJing the other day, and these kids came up to us, and they're like, "Whoa, real vinyl."
Yeah.
Because
Ah,
I was
yeah,
like,
for sure. It's out of
damn,
the ordinary
bro.
today.
That's crazy.
It's out of the
I was like,
ordinary
"What is it going to be?
today.
Fake vinyl?" I don't understand. What else would it be?
Well, it'd be
That's
Serato
the
records.
Serato?
Serato, or even the CDJs, bro. The smaller.
Okay.
Seratos.
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
more. But I mean, today,
real
bro.
vinyl, bro.
Sometimes I'm in a club and the DJ is only using one turntable.
That's
Wow.
whack.
I
Tell them. Tell them I said that. Yo, Buddha said that's whack.
Buddha
bro.
said that's why. That's a
Hit the
t-shirt.
DM.
It's crazy, bro. It's different, bro. Change, you know.
I mean, what I know is everyone uses controllers.
Exactly.
I mean, look, for what I did for that period of time, CDJs and a DJM mixer is standard everywhere. So it's like just if you have that, all right, fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't mind because in the electronic DJ world,
That's all it is, right?
There's no turntables,
No,
man.
no,
It's like
exactly,
a luxury
exactly.
to have turntables. But vinyl's coming back so big now. Like Narcy just had a thing at Concordia where they did a whole We Are the Medium sort of a week takeover on one of the spots. And he had turntables set up. So I went over there. Pro V,
did a live radio
first,
show?
Narcy's wife did the Groundbreakers, which she was a formal host. So she did one section, and then Pro V did his radio show where Narcy did like an extensive interview with him, but playing vinyl the whole time.
Yeah.
So
That's
all
dope.
these kids, it's like thousands of kids walking by all
Seeing us do
day,
that.
seeing us playing
Unks.
vinyl. People
The
coming up
unks out
like,
here DJing.
filming,
We had the unk shit.
like a bunch of people just
Real
like,
vinyl.
crazy,
Real
bro.
vinyl.
yeah, just like hypnotized by it, you know? So, oh yeah, I had the mic and just yelling mad shit for sure.
Yeah, I think like I love that shit. That's the like in my Bone era, I was collecting CDs. I had like 400 CDs, 400 albums. I still have those CDs at home.
Classic.
So now I'm collecting vinyl. It's back to that feeling. Now that I make them, I'm like back in the mode of collecting albums
cool.
and listening to full albums again. You know, off the internet, like not in the whip, at the crib, putting a whole album on now. It's great.
I haven't done that in a
It's
long
amazing, bro. The
time,
amount of
bro.
work you get done listening to a whole album is crazy, bro.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fact, man.
The last track, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Deep state of depression.
yeah.
All I hear is deep state.
yeah.
It finishes with knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Is it to let us know that there's maybe something coming up after?
That's the paranoia at the end.
Ah,
Like he's saying deep state? What deep state? And then like the song ends and then he's like, oh shit, they're coming for me.
I mean, yeah. I guess I left it open. You know.
yeah. That's the way I saw it. It's like it's chapter 1 of after we going
Yeah,
deeper.
that's amazing. There you go. He came up
There
with
you
the
go.
second
Yeah,
album.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me, I think because throughout the whole album, the paranoia is chasing me, right? Like I'm very confident in who I am on every song, and the things I'm saying are very like braggadocious and like, you know, about the world and the political situation in the world. But at the end of the album, they come in to get me. So maybe on the next album, they got me.
Like they got Kirk.
Yeah, ooh, I hope not.
Oh,
Sean.
damn.
Slow down.
Damn, slow down, buddy. Damn. I'm not trying to get canceled. Now we gonna get canceled.
Had to slide that in there real quick, eh? I respect it.
Yo, what?
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
no,
about that.
nothing,
I'm not
no.
interested, man.
The word is going crazy, man.
Yeah,
the world is
it
going
really is crazy,
man.
bro.
It really is crazy.
Subhanallah, bro.
You said you were tour manager.
Yes.
What's the places you went?
I was a Terminator in
A Terminator,
What's going on right
tour
now?
manager. My bad.
I was the T1000.
T1000, sick.
With real vinyl.
So in like
with real vinyl.
I don't know, man, 2009, 2010, I got contacted by a group of guys who were doing a night in Ottawa. They're like, yo, we got this crew. We do this monthly. We want you to come out and play. It's at Babylon, which is now RIP Babylon. They just closed recently. And yeah, so I went out there. The group was called A Tribe Called Red. And they had a night called Electric Powwow. So I became friends with them, you know, because we're like, I'm the only native guy in Montreal really doing anything, if you really think about it, for the last 30 years, like as far as a DJ and what I've done. And they were in Ottawa, which is only a couple hours away, and they were sort of forming this crew that was for natives, not a crew rather, but the night became a safe space for all these different natives that were going to the universities from all these different communities, and then be able to go somewhere and party and have other natives there and just be cool and have a spot, you know?
Yeah.
And this is way before all that became sort of a political thing and like a thing that it was, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
safe spaces and this and that. It was just, that was the pop off of it. Like, yo, I'm from nowhere and like there's this monthly thing. Oh, it's all niche DJs and like my friends are going. So it instantly became a huge party.
Makes sense.
That went for 10 years. So I met them when I met them, and then, you know, they came here, they did Igloo Fest one year, and I sort of like hung out with them, took care of them. And I moved to New York with DJ Brace. We're living in Brooklyn. And South by Southwest is happening, and from Brooklyn to Texas, Austin, it's like $80 to fly there or something. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to Austin. Let's go. And then I'm talking to Tommy Cruise, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to Austin, because that was during the Mook Life era, which I was like a big part of. I was one of the photographers in Mook Life.
Okay, so
Me,
you were working with
Tron.
Tommy Cruise and
Tommy Cruise, we kind of put Tommy Cruise on back in the day when we started it wasn't me personally, but like the Mook Life brand was doing different parties. You know, Wiggers from the North Side was his first party that they created to put him on, where it was Southern Trap, where you were playing like DJ Screw type shit all night, you know? And that was when that was just re-popping off again, you know? So he's, I'm like, yo, I'm going to Texas, whatever. He's like, yo, I just got like management and this and that, and we're supposed to be going. And long story short, he ended up hooking up a place to stay. I got him there to Austin. So then I'm in Austin. We're hanging out. He going to all these events. I hang out with the crew, talking to their manager. He's like, hey man, so I'm about to have a kid and they're about to go on tour full time. You want to be their tour manager? I'm like, sure. And then like 2 weeks later, we're on the West Coast doing a tour from like Oregon up to Washington, back down all the way through California, all the way down across the states to
I steal, bro. You did go to the States and do
there you go. You chose something else.
to Jazz Fest in New Orleans. And that was like my first tour. It was like 2 or 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks or.
And like the first time you're doing it, is it like a overwhelming, so much tasks and stuff like that, or you're like it was an easy?
No, I mean like I've already been into business at that point, right? 20 years or something. So it's like certain things I didn't know and I just learned on the go. And a lot of that was paperwork, man.
Buddha's very organized, bro. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm chaos. Buddha is very organized. So like that job is actually like, for me, when I saw Buddha as a tour manager after years of DJing,
You're like, it makes sense.
I was like, bro, that's Buddha's fucking job. Like, because he's no bullshit, straight to the point. Get out the way. My artists need to sound check. Get him in the car. Get him back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Like he's very organized, you know?
Yeah, you need to be like that.
Yeah, it was more the bookkeeping part that I had to kind of like not figure out, but just be told. I was doing it one way and they're like, yo, the accountants are pissed at you, blah, blah, blah. And then I told them, you've never been a tour manager. And they were like, oh, okay, no worries. Tell them to do this and this. And then after that, it was fine, right? But like, you know, for years, bro, I was in a state where it's like you're always thinking a month ahead.
Wow.
Everything is on your you're living off your iCalendar. Everything's there.
I could never.
You're going on an average, let's say a 3-week tour, and you're doing like 15 shows. So you have to get a hold of all 15 of the promoters and make sure you get a hold of all 15 venues and figure out everything.
Yeah, it's
what
a lot.
do you have? You're doing you got to do your hotels and your this and your travel and your flights and your make sure everybody gets their money and then per diem and you're doing merch and then what's the split on that? Okay, who's doing merch? Got to pay this guy and then what time? Who's the opener? Okay, I'm the opener. Oh, cool. For years I was the opener.
Okay, wow.
Go DJ open beforehand or whatever, and to the point where people were coming like, we want to be your opener. It went from like 200, 300 to like, we sold out a Commodore multiple nights in a row, which is like 1,000 people in Vancouver. That's the big Vancouver.
That's crazy,
venue.
Man.
So it was just like, it was,
What was your favorite place you visited?
Bro, I've been all over the world twice.
All over the
I went
world.
to Pakistan, bro.
I've been to Pakistan, I've been to Abu Dhabi, I've been to Dubai, I've been to New Zealand, I've been to Australia, I've been to Norway, Finland, I've been to where they do the chess championships in like Tromsø, Norway. I've been there where like you land at midnight and it's daylight. It's noon. Looks like noon.
Yeah.
You went to Africa?
No, never been to Africa. Never been to Asia. Yeah, I've been to Spain, but not. I was right there. I wanted to go to Morocco. Actually, I had plans to go to Morocco, but
So try Algeria also.
Shout out Algeria. Shout out all my Algerian brothers
Yeah, man. We
and
there.
sisters.
Yes,
but
sir.
honestly, like I love going to Northern California and BC.
That's it. Do you miss
Those are beautiful.
the tour life?
Fuck no. It's funny because COVID happened and it was kind of like I was kind of at the point where I felt like it had been enough, and then that happened and then you're just all over. Who knows what was happening? But it's it's a whole nother chapter now where it's already 5 years removed at this point.
Crazy.
Since 6, my last tour was December 2019 and we did Europe. We finished in Paris and that was a whole
That's cool.
crazy catastrophe, crazy story tour, like, and then COVID in March. So it's just like, yeah, it's already almost 6 years.
Crazy, man.
So
Time
how's
flies.
the native music scene, rap scene? You said you were the only one.
Well, we started it in '99. So in '99, everybody who was into hip hop was in our group, basically. You know, before that there were bands which I was in. There was I come from a community back then of like 8,000 people, right? Tiny little community, super
Wow.
insulated. So it's like that guy starts a band, and then he leaves that band and comes join my band, and then I go and I join that other band that he was just in. It's very like incestuous because it's so small. So when it did get into hip hop, like I said, those two guys I shouted out were the guys in my town who knew what was up and were trying to be MCs. You know, and then I come from being in a music background, playing music in bands, singing, guitar, drums, bass, DJing, but not hip hop, just like radio DJing and broadcasting.
I think what he was asking was like, what do you think of the native voice?
No, he's asking the scene there.
Or in
No, but
Kanawake,
today
you
it
mean, or in
developed.
general?
It
But
you mean?
even now,
developed from those days.
there's
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you 5 people besides the people I know that I came up with that are doing music there. There might be here and there, but because it's such a social media place now, we're so worldwide, and even though I live in such a small community, I don't even know like who's popping, if there is. Like maybe there's a group popping right now in my town that I don't know of, but I know only 2 or 3. But in the general native music, there's a few people who've been doing it. In hip hop, there's like Snotty Nose Rez Kids. They've like gone to the next level as far as becoming almost pop.
Yeah, I know Drizzes.
Him as well, and he comes from a whole other lineage.
Okay.
Like he's been in the scene. He's an OG as well, man. He's a super OG in that scene. That's what's crazy. When we were doing our thing, we went to Toronto. We did this festival with Def Jux, and we were the openers, and it went well. And this DJ, or I don't remember who he was, man. He came over. He's like, "Yo, they're ready for you out west," and I didn't know what that meant. And then when I became a tour manager and we started touring the country all the time, I'm like, holy shit. Calgary, everything west of Calgary, it's like 3-to-1 native. There's 3 natives for every 1 non-native.
Yeah.
Like we're everywhere out there. There's such a huge market to try to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that back then. That guy was like telling me the cheat code, like, yo, there's
Go
tons of
out
people
there.
out there to support you, whereas here it's always been an uphill battle.
So even for artists now, let's say that are trying to strive, let's say a native Mohawk or that are from Quebec, Ontario, their main focus should be to try to reach more in the West because that's where
Well,
there's more people.
that was like, no, bro. I mean, that's years and years ago, right?
Okay.
Look, I'll give you a perfect example. There's an artist I'm working with right now. His name's Existence. Great artist, you know. He's from like near the Manitoulin Islands area, and like he's got a great following, and he's putting out music. He's got a lot of music in the tuck, and like he's somebody I see who's striving and still being relevant with his culture, you know. So there are definitely people doing it in this area, but like to him, you know, he's already on a path where I see there's going to be a lot of success in his future, you know. So it's just a point of continuing to work and doing what he's doing. But there's definitely groups, but I thought you were initially talking about my res, but no, for him, like, because it's a new era, it's not even the same. That wouldn't even work to him because of social media. It doesn't matter. It could be people in Japan who are feeling him. You know, it doesn't need to be, oh yeah, all the natives out west. Like, I'm sure he has a huge native following because he actually has a decent social media following, but yeah, no, I wouldn't say that because it's such a worldwide thing now, right? Like you have to find where your music lands at this point if that's how you're going to approach it. But at the same time, like I'm working with him and we're going to put out music together and it's going to be physical because that's another thing I'm trying to show him. Like, look, man, it's worth it to invest in yourself as well in physical music and because then it's real art for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not to say if you don't do that, it's not.
No, but it's different when you have
it's-
something that's tangible. It's totally different.
You know.
You know, it's crazy when we met back up and collaborated again was when he was tour managing Trap Called Red and we did the track with Yassine.
Yeah.
And like that moment in Canadian music history, you know, I got to I got to be like this independent artist, got to be part of this huge cultural moment in Canada where I was with Buddha, and it's so real. And then we go to the Junos,
Yeah.
and we're sitting, and like Trudeau is sitting right there, and
Came shake our hand, man.
and they kind of put a Tribe Called Red, you know, and that was like the year of reconciliation that the government was apologizing for
Pandering.
pandering to, in a way, pandering, right?
Yeah. Well.
And then you see, like, to be an outsider in Canada as part of this native moment, you know, to be an ambassador for my people, and seeing Buddha be a major part of it. It wouldn't happen if Buddha hadn't connected me to, I mean, it might have, but like Buddha connected me to the guys, right? That, you know, since then I kind of wonder how, I haven't really followed the Canadian music scene, but like how has that integrated in terms of real cultural thinking within industry for native representation, let alone Arabs. There were no Arabs in the room. It was just me and Carl Wolf that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, so I don't know. I haven't been watching, but I wonder if there's more diversity in the Canadian voice and the Indigenous voice in the Canadian music scene. You know, if they let them in, I don't know. You know,
I feel like that groups have
ways-
spawned a lot of artists and a lot of movement.
after Tribe.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen a bunch of artists who have come to the forefront. But because, like you, I don't really follow it like that, I couldn't name you besides the ones I've already named
that we've
you.
already named. Yeah.
But there's definitely a couple women that I've seen definitely killing it right now.
Ici au
Shout out,
Québec,
shout out our
It
sister
is
Tanya
evolving.
Tagad.
I mean, I think it's
see you.
moving slow, but there is definitely some progress as far as that. And it's funny you mentioned Carl Wolf because it made me think of your Massari line.
Well,
Girl, I'm going on my mind
like
Massari.
Massari, out of body. Rap life a different story.
I'm like, oh yeah, he was probably around the Middle East when that song was blowing
Bro,
up
I
out
opened
there.
for Massari in Amman, bro.
Really?
Yeah, like at the Citadel in Amman. Me and Ahmad Afenim opened for Massari, like we got booked by Virgin Megastore or some shit at the
That's so-
time.
it's interesting because when I listened to that line, I was like thinking of like, yeah, man, like Narcy was probably in the Middle East around those years.
I was here, bro.
Okay,
It was
you were-
2003.
No.
Like Capital Profits, bro. That was like 2000.
05,
It was around the
maybe.
time we started making music, but they were on Much Music. So like Belly and Massari were on TV.
Yeah.
While we were super in the underground, like activist
Because
scene.
when you say I was opening up for Massari, I'm like, how? Like
It just
the
it just
styles
happened.
are such clashes. You know
It
what I
happened.
mean?
It was Creole. Massari was, shout out Massari first of all, because there is no other Massari. There's only one.
only one.
Yeah.
He dropped one album, came and went, and like that.
That paved the way,
Yeah.
bro, for
The
Bali,
Capital
all these
Profits
other-
Yeah, it
album
was an
was the
era.
one.
Yeah.
Was the one.
No, but he had a Massari album too, right?
Well, that was no. That's what I'm saying on the Capital Profits.
Yeah, so
label,
like
on
back
CP
then,
Records.
obviously, it's like the backpackers versus the commercial, and like we didn't feel like it connected. But now when I look back in history, he was way ahead of his time. Like what he was doing or
Bro,
attempting to do at
what
the
he
time.
did. What he did.
Yeah,
is
it's-
impressive, bro. Because
Yeah.
I remember I was close to them and the Belly and them. I used to see them a lot. And seeing the Massari was in a group with Belly.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were the Capital Profits
Profits,
at
yeah.
the beginning. And then it became CP Records. And then it was like, okay, Massari, yalla, hit the gym, this interview.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it, like, interview schools or whatever, trainings and stuff like that.
Media training.
Media training. And
Media
then he
training.
came out like a well-oiled machine, bro. And then I see him in Lebanon
Massari
and
was
stuff.
crazy,
and
dog.
it's crazy.
With the
And I'm
Massari
like, yo,
dog
this is-
tags.
It's like the Arab usher, bro.
Yeah,
like, what's
yeah,
going
it's
on?
crazy.
It was going crazy out there.
Massari was crazy, bro.
Like people were performing his songs at like the American Idols type shit, and they're performing his song, and then he walks out and they go crazy, and I was like,
Bro, I saw Massari in
crazy.
Amman at the top of the Citadel. It started raining. He was in a fanila and he had a dog tag Massari on, and he put it around a girl's neck. And I was like,
Classic.
"This motherfucker!"
Yeah.
No, like
Some Michael
he
Jackson
did it,
shit.
bro.
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Shout out
It's
Massari,
crazy.
bro.
It's impressive to see
Yeah,
what
that-
I
even
play
that-
Massari now. When I DJ, I got Massari on vinyl, bro. I play
Stop
Massari.
playing with me,
Well,
man.
the joint with what's his name? With Loon. Smile for me, bro.
Smile for me.
Yeah, I got that. I got the
those
promo vinyl, dog.
Those records
Come
made
on,
impact
dude.
on K103 radio too.
Of
I'm sure,
course,
like
yeah,
those were
of
hits.
course. No. That
So yeah,
was-
bro, you underestimate my catalog, bro.
Because when we listen to Narcy,
Yeah,
I'm like,
but-
oh, this guy's listening to backpack
Bro, I
rap
listen to
all
R
day,
and B
you know what I
all
mean?
day. That's all I listen to.
Do you know what I think
And Tony
about
Rich
Massari?
Project and shit. Like I'm '90s R and B is my
Okay.
yeah.
Massari was wearing a fake eyes contact.
Oh, it's very possible.
It's very. Listen, Massari had to do what Massari had to do.
Massari had
bro.
to do what he had to do, my friend. He was also wearing the belt with
Lebanese
the
legend with the big
right-
M. Oh yeah, the one with the billboard on it.
Yeah,
That
the
shit was
billboard on
hard.
it.
No, but that was his swag, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
look,
what it was
he-
back
Big shout
then.
out.
Yeah,
It
and
was
like
a time. It was a
It
era.
was a time. It was a time.
I opened for Busta here in the city, and Belly was also opening that day
At Dome.
Was it at Dome? No, was that like Metropolis? or something?
Metropolis.
Busta? Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
The Out of
You're
Money
right,
tour.
You're right.
And then recently I reconnected with Belly and interviewed him. A real good dude, bro. Real
Really? When
amazing
did you get the
MC.
chance to sit down with him?
For Billboard Arabia. It's on YouTube and shit. You can watch it. But
Very
I
dope.
sat with him and I went to his studio and like I've never built with him and just like sat and conversated with him. And he's like us, bro. Like he's he's an MC. He's a hip hop
Absolutely, man.
but extremely successful, amazing
But
career.
it's interesting because when I listen to your music, I'm like, okay, clearly Narcy doesn't care about the cancel culture or the industry or whatever because you say what you want to say, right?
Yeah.
And Belly being so in the machine, being part of XO and all this, his last project that he came out with, which was like pretty much
the
an
Bethlehem
ode to
joint.
Palestine,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, like this guy's really standing
I
on
mean,
it.
he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to pander ever because he's written huge hits.
100%.
Like he's good, I think. So like,
100%. But a lot of people in his situation and way better won't even say a word. So I respected that he was like, yo, man, I'm standing on it and whatever happens,
and
happens,
he
right?
deserves more visibility as an
Absolutely,
artist.
man.
Too,
Absolutely. Always was a dope MC.
Yeah.
So talking about Massari, talking about Billboard Arabia, we have no choice to talk about your article that you did on the Rolling Stone MENA.
Nice.
You wrote an article?
Yeah.
So with the 40,
40, yeah.
OVO.
how this story all happened?
I mean, I don't know her for a couple years now. And it's funny because I've interviewed him like 3 times now. Well, the first time I met him was through his sister who had come to one of my talks in Toronto. He also has an older sister, like I have an older sister. Same age difference between the two of us. So when I met him, I just kind of connected and became friends with him. And it was never like, yo, let's make music, right? It's just I had a friendship with him and a kinship, and we'd send each other memes and songs and talk about music and pop culture and stuff. And then during the pandemic, when I was working on To Be an Arab, he was one of the first people I sent the album to listen to give me feedback, right? And then we just started talking around that time, and it wasn't like he was like, I'll distribute it for you, but you could do better on your own, So like I put it out on my own, and we became friends. And then he lost his dad, he lost his mentor, and when it came down to it, Billboard came to me and were like, "Who would you want to interview in Canada from the community?" And with everything that happened in the last couple of years, I was like, no one's ever done a profile on Noah for a publication that's like not related to OVO.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even if I'm gonna go in this space as a journalist, which some people call me a journalist, but for me, like I just write for myself and others. I say a big verse, I'm only bigging up my brother. Like if I get the opportunity to write, I want to tell somebody's story that hasn't been told from our perspective as a community, from the love for that person, right? So we went and visited Noah for a day, chilled with him for 2 days, and like no high fashion stuff. It was all Friends brands, like all Arab independent brands. I wanted him to rock stuff from me, rock stuff from Mohawk, different brands that we knew, homies that made clothes.
That's dope.
And like to kind of center, decentralize this like huge mythical idea of OVO from just a person that's who's a producer and
but an intricate part.
Yeah,
of the whole,
intricate part.
of the
Yeah, and
empire.
for me also, he doesn't get enough flowers, right? Like everybody knows he's Drake's producer, but even in that, because Drake is so big and out of the stratosphere, Noah's not like out in public all the time.
Oh, exactly.
He doesn't get the same amount of flowers the amount of flowers that he should get for what he's done, right? So yeah, that was the purpose of that. I was like, let me pay homage to my bro, and
It
Crazy.
doesn't happen often that we hear his side.
yeah,
And you went deep also on the
Yeah.
conversations. You talked about the mourning of his lost ones.
yeah,
Also, you talked about what we were talking about, the responsibility of being on non-ceded land
Yeah.
and all this. So how was it for you to conduct an interview with a big name, also like Rolling Stones? So is it your first time working with this magazine?
No, bro. I mean, I've written for op-eds for like Time Magazine, CNN. Like every now and then I'll do a real
Let it be
flex
known,
real-
Narcy. You got to tell him.
No,
man.
but
Like,
you know what I mean? Like I've always written for platforms in specific moments, but always what I tell them is like, I'm not going to conform to your form of writing. I'm not interested in writing an interview with somebody that's like, and the beef happened,
Yeah.
and this is what he.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to subvert the medium. Again, if I'm in a magazine, I want readers to read a long ass article that has layers and like is almost like poetic. It's not linear in its presentation.
Because we don't go now. It's hard to bring the readers to go to the website because with the social media,
They'll just scroll.
just scroll. The way that you drop the article seems like a rollout almost for a music video.
Yeah.
The way you guys did it, I found it really original.
Yeah.
It's not like you've done it with bigger media, but the way you dropped this one, I found it interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really interview him. I just spent the day with him, and there were moments where the conversation naturally became where I was asking him questions, and I would tell him I'm about to record, and I would record, and that wouldn't change the vibe of
the flow.
I didn't go in with the intent. I went in with the intention, but I didn't go in there with like 20 questions that I wanted to know. Actually, I didn't go in with any questions. I just hadn't hung out with him in a minute face to face. And I was like, listen, bro, we're going to end the day by going to have dinner with all the homies, like with all the engineers from your studio, with Noel, who you trained, who produces and mixes for Drake, with Mr. Morgan, with Majid from Majid Jordan, like with Nemesis, all the people that he's whose music he's touched and his lives he's changed. But throughout the day, I just want to kick it with you. You take me along with you. And he took me to the studio. He took me to his storage room, took us on the boat. He took us to his old lake house that he's like getting rid of, like, And I felt
That's
like
crazy.
Nobody does that anymore. It's all like, and then you see the shit that got picked up from the article was Drake easily signed ceasefire letter. It wasn't, oh, this guy is going through a lot,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a responsibility, bro. And I love doing that. It's like such a fun thing to do. It's not about me. I'm just there,
No, it's fresh.
It's dope, man.
Like,
it's a cool
because
opportunity, man.
We were talking to finish with it because it's been a great episode. We were talking about maybe losing gigs and etc. But at the end of the day, you're with your people and just telling the story of your people just through your music, and you guys dropping some references. So that's why I was talking about the lyrics, because I like to read.
I'll send you the lyrics.
And to discover, just to know the names you're dropping. We talked about another artist, but I'm pretty sure you dropped many more names that I wished I can go and search for it and say what Narcy means about this,
You know what? I'm gonna put all this shit on Genius.
And
I'm gonna send you a link.
Yeah, I think it should be
I
really...
will. It's all on my phone right now.
I think it could help not just me, but a lot of people.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, bro.
Shout out
Thanks to you,
Mitsumi
man.
Takahashi.
Yo,
Yeah, I was
Mitsumi
gonna say,
Takahashi.
Shout out to the
Speaking of-
animation video that was done.
Speaking of names, it's dropping that sort of
Yo,
classic.
Mitsumi was the first person that brought me the news, in
Facts,
Montreal,
man.
bro. Facts.
Legend, like you say.
Legend, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yo, guys, appreciate you guys coming through, man.
Thank you, guys.
You guys
Patreon
have anything
buffet?
you guys want to mention real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, the album's out. Go stream it on all the decrepit ass streaming services that buy war guns and machines and drones and shit
Or
just
hit
to
us
give
up,
them more money.
in person, or go to his website on the bookstore, Maktaba bookstore, and order it. We got a few copies left. And don't forget, Wednesday nights at midnight Eastern time, ckut.ca or 90.3 FM if you're in Montreal. Off the Hook Radio. We're in our 30-something year. We play Montreal hip hop. We play new underground and emerging hip hop, classic stuff, just good music. And we have freestyles. Shout out Pro V. Shout out Tokyo Sensei. Yeah. And buy a record. Support physical music, whether it's ours or
Word up.
Dead Prime Ministers or Seventh Summit
Let's
or
go.
the new, whoever.
Yeah, man.
I need
Stop
me that
trying to
copy.
be the first and the best. Just be the best you, man. You feel me?
I like
We'll
that,
all
man.
get better that way.
I like that one, man.
Word
Appreciate
up.
you guys
Preach.
for coming through, man. You already know what we doing, man. We do this every week. 11 MTL, le podcast. It's your boy
C'est
J7.
votre boy le 11.
We going to Patreon. Let's go.
Oh shit, we got the Patreon questions.
Oh shit.